Yeah, I got a lot to say. First off, we played a match on Friday, and it was by far the funnest environment I've ever been a part of, and I owe that to the 12th man. And not just the number of people that showed up, it was the fact that it was Halloween and what our marketing team did around that. It was the enthusiasm that was going on. It was the fact that the crowd was on their feet for the majority of the match, and obviously it was an exciting match. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that was a part of it in every different way. And it was something that I think every single one of our athletes will remember for the rest of their lives, that I will remember for the rest of my lives. And I got a couple messages on Instagram that I think a lot of the student body that will remember for the rest of their lives. So just a thank you to everybody involved is my first statement. And then I'm proud of our volleyball team. And we went out and played two really, really good volleyball teams. One of them at home and one of them on the road. And I thought the resilience that we showed throughout the Texas game was amazing. It was something we learned throughout the season, and we never gave up despite the circumstances. And I thought we came out with the right attitude, and when they pushed back, and then all of a sudden the fifth set happened. And I remember walking to the huddle and saying something's good is about to happen. We're about to make something good happen, and we did. And then to turn around and go to Tennessee, and the team we lost to last year in their gym, and a really, really good and well-coached volleyball team. And to come, I don't know, off of that emotional high, I immediately knew the second we got into video on Saturday before we left that our team was dialed in, they were focused, they knew that we had some more work to do over the weekend. And I think I'm equally as proud as I am with the Texas win, and just the response that we had coming into that match, and the response we had after losing the first set, and no panic whatsoever, and went to problem-solving mode with a new lineup that they showed, and came out with a really hard-fought victory. So I'm proud of our team as well.
We'll open up to questions. We'll start with Alex on the second row on the left.
3 matches left here in the regular season. Do you kind of like how they're spaced out? You got a little bit of time in between each one?
Yeah, no, it's nice. We get to give the girls 2 days off right now. And I'm just going to push people tomorrow, too. It's a day to go out and express yourself in terms of voting. But giving our girls that off to make sure that they can go exercise that right as well. And we have a tough opponent, obviously, on Friday in Auburn. They run a really fast offense, and then we kind of get another day off. And then we turn around and we play on Wednesday against Florida. So it kind of works out well that we get a little bit of rest, which is well earned and much needed right now. But we're looking forward to the challenges.
And then I was just looking up stats on Auburn. It looks like their block's been really effective this year. Just what have you seen from that? And then in turn with your own block, just the way you guys have been playing these last few matches.
Yeah, I haven't fully, I literally am going to go over to the office and download the rest of the videos that I need to go watch right now. The little bit that I watched earlier in the season, the thing that stood out was just they're running a really fast offense. So similar to how we played Oklahoma last year, where it's high risk, high reward. And you've seen that with they've upset some teams and then they've given up some matches that maybe they shouldn't have. So that's probably the number one thing that we'll have to adjust to as we go. And then I'll take a look at the blocking and defense a little bit more this afternoon. And if you want to ask later on in the week, I'm happy to answer it.
We'll stay on the left on the fourth row to Rob.
Howdy, Coach. A couple things. First, down 18-22 in the second set. I mean, talk about how you turned that into a win and how big that was. And the second thing, you mentioned the crowd. Not only was it a big crowd, but it's an educated crowd that has been following Aggie volleyball enough that they know what's the chants and all that. Talk about the excitement of that.
Yeah, first off, just I said it when they pulled me over to the TV booth, like what happened in terms of 18-22. We came back, and I subbed in 2 freshmen. And for them to step into that moment and step up to that moment is huge. And I think it's for Megan and Taryn just coming in and as a serving sub, as a blocking sub. And we didn't have a setter on the floor at the moment, and be able to communicate and be in that atmosphere and to step up to it was huge. And I think for our entire team, just the entire weekend was all about problem solving. And we threw them in that situation with no setter on the floor. And then we go out and we play Tennessee on Sunday, and they throw out a different lineup that they haven't seen all season. They have an opposite who'd served 8 balls that all of a sudden was ripping jump serves that we had to adjust to as the match went on. And I think in that moment right there, it was a lot of problem solving that happened. And then to the crowd, I turned around at least 4 times. And I think the thing that has made this unique and special, and it's a testament to the 12th man, is just they're influencing the game. And they know when to get on a server. They know when to be quiet and then be loud. They know when to be quiet for our sake. And I can guarantee you there were 4 times in that match that I turned around with a small round of applause for our crowd, because they are turning the match in a match that's decided by 2 points. And they're a huge piece of what we're doing. And again, going back to gratitude, I couldn't be more grateful for that.
We'll go front row on the right to Travis.
Hey, Jamie. Does with this being the first year with the tournament back, is it change how you manage the last few weeks of the season? Is there anything different in how you're managing workload or anything like that?
Yeah, 100%. We talked about it actually. It's not the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's we talked about it 2 weeks ago. We switched from a Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Sunday kind of cadence to a Friday, Sunday. And the one thing that we really talked about is we're going to have to play at least 3 matches in a row. So it's actually been trying to up the workload a little bit on that middle day, not necessarily taper off of it, but get us used to kind of having that load of 3 days in a row within reason, of course. Like after a 5-set match against Florida or against Texas, we weren't, super heavy on what was going on in there on Saturday, but it was, and our players have been really, really engaged in it. Of okay, we need to do a little bit more this Saturday, and then a little bit more next Saturday, and kind of beef ourselves up to the point where we're ready to play 3 matches in 3 days.
We'll go back behind the lights to Tyler.
Jamie, before that Texas match, you kept saying, yeah, it's a big match coming up. It's a big weekend, in general, with not overlooking Tennessee. That's after Texas. Does the turnaround, the quality of opponents you guys just did, and anticipating what was coming, do you feel like that is kind of a helps for this upcoming the tournament scenario when you have a new SEC tournament and then the NCAA? Is that kind of a tournament feel to it?
Yeah, I said it when we got off the plane yesterday. The thing I was proud of over the weekend was just the way we handled things, and we proved that it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the net, where we're playing, we're capable of beating anybody in the country, and we're capable of turning around and adjusting to a new opponent really, really quickly. So I think it gets us ready for both. And the SEC tournament will be something I think we've never done. Like I don't think anybody in the SEC has ever played 3 really quality opponents in a row and have to scout that. And I think the one thing we have going for us is we do have a scouting report from earlier in the season, given that we've played everybody once. But I think it gives us one preparation that we know we can go out and do that. But this end, like I've talked a little bit about, putting our past victories. I'm a David Goggins fan in the cookie jar of having something that we go back to that we've done it before. That we did this over this weekend, and we've done it throughout the SEC. And it's not just these 2 opponents; it's been every single weekend. And I've said it all year. This conference is a gauntlet. So I think it's just something from a confidence standpoint we have it. Also from a knowing what it's like to prep for those 2 opponents and emotionally rebound from a big win and have to go back and play somebody else. I think it's huge.
We'll go back on the second row on the left to Alex.
You mentioned the freshmen that have been stepping up with Taryn and specifically. Just what did you see in her maybe the weeks leading up to maybe the last 2 weeks that's given you the confidence in her, and just some of the maybe things you've been telling her as she's had an increased role?
Yeah, I don't think it's the last 2 weeks. I think it's, if you go back, it was actually, it might have been the Baylor exhibition. I actually used a video of her just as a competitor. The way she was coming down after she got a stuff block, and the way she was, willing the people around her to get into this match. And she's a competitor, and she's a good volleyball player. And I think one of the things that this program will be known for is developing well-rounded volleyball players and well-rounded humans, but she can play the entire game too. And if you look at what she did in both of those matches, she came in and I think she set 4 really, really hittable balls that some opposites in the country can't do. So I think the thing I've seen is not 2 weeks, it's the entire season, that she's got a will inside of her that wants to go compete, and then she's a well-rounded volleyball player that can add value on the floor.
We'll go to the third row on the left.
You mentioned the kind of 2 emotional games, and with the SEC tournament coming up, how do you avoid that letdown and trying to look ahead to the SEC tournament with your team?
I don't think we are, and this is again where I was so proud of this team over the weekend. There was no overlooking Tennessee. Immediately when we got done, they were cooling down in the right way, and immediately when we hopped into video, they were studying it the right way. And I think with each of these matches, and I think the other thing is just they all offer some different challenges that we have to focus on. So again, we're going to play Auburn, and I really have zero idea what their record is right now. I know they're a good volleyball team, but they're going to run really fast, and it's something we got to focus on, and it's something that's going to challenge us a little bit. And then we're going to play Florida, who's been up and down this season, but I think we got a ton of respect for. So I think as we get down the stretch here, it's each team is going to offer some different little challenge that'll keep us focused.
We'll go third row on the right to Kay.
Coach, Kendall Stowers is coming off just an overall really impressive weekend with season high 22 kills against Texas. Just what can you say about her game, and is this the kind of player that you probably knew you were going to get whenever she came here?
I have been completely. When she came in, I knew she was a good volleyball player. Let's go with that. And it was one of those things where she'd been off for a year and a half. So I knew we were getting something that was really, really good, but she's blown me away, and not just in the volleyball sense, in the human being sense, and the way she goes about her business. And within 2 weeks, she was in a leadership position at FCA. I think from a human being standpoint, the interactions that you have within practice, from a learning standpoint, she's a sponge. You give her something and she soaks it up, and she understands the reason why you're doing something and can apply it in 18 different ways. And you saw, I don't know, the ultra competitor that she is, that she's going to come out there and prove that she's one of the best volleyball players on the floor over the weekend. So was I surprised? No. From the performance, I think she's one of the best players in the country. But have I been surprised by her since she's got here? Yeah. I knew we were getting something good, but she's blown me away in a lot of different ways.
Awesome. No more questions, I don't think.
I also just need to say this, and I said this at the end of a press conference, just I think we have something special here at Texas A&M, and not just with the athletics, but just with the coaches that we have here. And it's been something that's kind of brewing, and I was texting with Mike about this also. Just we have a lot of coaches that support each other in a lot of different ways, and I just wanted to say thank you for the support leading up to, whether it be the promotion of our matches or showing up. And I know people asked me afterwards. I know Mike and Bucky were both in the crowd, but I'm guessing they weren't the only ones. But just I wanted to say thank you for people that are coming out, and then just turning the page here and kind of flipping the script a little bit. Basketball gets started this week. And for Bucky's game tonight, then I think Joni's is on Wednesday, just encouraging people. Make sure you show up and show out. And for Bucky tonight, too, just it's his first chance to experience the 12th man. So if anybody's hearing this, just make sure you show up, be loud. And then I'll throw it back at Mike. There's a football game on Saturday, but I don't think that needs promotion around here. So, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. And it's really a unique atmosphere where we can all, lean on each other, learn from each other, and support each other. So I'm appreciative of them every day.